Right here we have kind of our standard bin size for a single house use or a small, I don't know, maybe small business. But this is what you would start with, and you can use any materials you want, but we find most mountain areas or most areas, you can find some scrap wood, and so that's what we are using here is just some wood pieces and then bamboo for holding up the bin. It's ideal to construct at the height where you're going to harvest or work with it, so you're not always bending down. As well as when you raise it, it's harder for predators to come in, so rats, chickens, other animals. It's just protecting your vermicomposting system a bit compared to having it on the ground. The other thing that we do is we use rice sacks. You could use plastic, but the problem with plastic is it doesn't breathe, so you really have to control the moisture level because you don't want it to get too wet. Whereas when you use rice sack, it allows for natural airflow, and that's also why actually having a plywood on the bottom isn't the ideal situation. As you can see, our other ones, we've converted them to a bamboo base, so again the air will circulate and allow for faster decomposition. So this is our pre-composting bin or pit. Yeah. You can use any size or area. The key things though are it's all natural, or things that came from a natural source, like the cardboard came from trees, so it will break down back into a natural component. So the key here is that it should be in this area for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks, ideally, and you can put IMO on top of it to make the process of biodecomposition faster.
Yeah. This is how we prepare the food for our vermi. So we have here the cardboard, chopped cardboard, and we have some grasses here, leaves, and rice stalk, decaying rice stalk, and of course we have the manure here. So all of this will be eaten by the worms. So first we're going to put IMO.
So we've mixed those different materials, the rice straw, the cardboard, the manure, into the bin, and once we put it in, we can add the IMO, which will help to speed up the process of decomposition, because with worms, they cannot eat these things directly. What vermi worms will do is they will eat the second stage of decomposition. So a worm cannot eat cardboard or poo, manure, directly. They can only eat the byproduct of microbacteria eating these things and breaking it down. So IMO stands for indigenous microorganisms,
yeah,
which are found in nature, but what we're doing with IMO is it's highly concentrated, so that there's lots of bacteria in here to help speed up the process of decomposition so that the worms have plenty of food to eat. So we'll add the IMO now. If you don't have IMO ready, or you messed up a production of IMO, the other thing you can use is the product Vermicast. So you use the organic fertilizer and mix it with water, about 1/4, 1 part Vermicast, 3 parts water. Mix it up a bit, let it sit for 24 hours, and then the following day you can add that liquid to the top, and because the microorganisms are already in the Vermicast, they will also be in the water and will do a very similar job to IMO. But whenever you're first setting up a bin, we strongly encourage that you use IMO to get it going.
So this is how we harvest the cast. So the method that we're using is scraping. So scraping on the top, not on the bottom, but scraping on the top. So this is how we do it. So scrape. Be careful not to touch the worms. There you go. Scrape.
So you're focusing just on the top, maybe half inch or inch.
Yeah.
And you can do this every
2 days.
2 to 3 days, depends on your system. But as you see that the vermicast is getting there, then you can harvest it. And the idea using the scraping technique instead of harvesting the whole thing is when you harvest the whole thing, you're disturbing the worms more than when you're just scraping the top, because the worms will naturally go down and away from the light. So it's less stress on the worms, and it's much easier. You can do this maybe in 5 minutes or less per bin, instead of when you harvest a whole bin, it will take you 30 minutes or more.
Yeah.
One of the things which we've done since we have so many bins, to save space, we've built layered bins. And what you can do is, you could do it as much as you want, but we've done 3 levels. And this was our first trial. As you can see, we can't pull them out, which allows you to still do it from the side. You can harvest it, maintain them from the side, which is possible. Or we've also created this next generation or option, which all the layers you can actually pull out, so that it allows it's easier access to harvest or to put new food in. So either method works. You can just choose which one you want, and either of these will save a lot of space.
Yeah.